All right, we're back here in Scranton. We've gone to the masks here because we have an in-person guest coming up to talk about the final night of the Democratic National Convention and kind of the grand finale tonight, the big speech from the former Vice President Joe Biden, which might be, you know, he's had a long career in politics, but this could be one of the biggest moments in his career as he will formally accept his party's nomination for president. He'll be on stage in Wilmington, Delaware. What does he need to say to kind of fire up the voters, especially those from here in the state of Pennsylvania where we are? I'm joined now by the Democratic congressman who represents this area, Matt Cartwright. Congressman, thank you for giving us a little time here. You know, this is a beautiful spot we got here.
Nice to have you here, and you picked the nicest day of the summer to show up, Connell.
It really is. Expectations for tonight, is it fair to say, I know he's experienced that there is a decent amount of pressure on the former vice president to perform here tonight? You got to, even though you're leading in the polls, you got to close the deal, right?
I think you're exactly right. I mean, not only is there pressure, but this is probably the biggest speech of his life.
Yeah.
Accepting, I mean, how many people do this?
But you're doing it with no one there,
nomination.
Right? No, you're right.
Yeah, and giving a speech with no one in the room, that's just weird. It's hard to do.
What do you expect?
Last night, was it last night that Jill Biden spoke?
A couple of nights ago,
of nights ago, and you could see she was nervous.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of an endearing kind of a nervous, where you're kind of pulling for her to, you know, you come on, Jill, you can do it. Mm-hmm. You know, Joe Biden has given so many speeches in his life. I would be surprised if he were nervous. And what I'm looking for him to talk about is rebuilding America, infrastructure investment.
Right.
Around here, you know, nationwide, we're talking about around 10% unemployment. Pennsylvania, 13% unemployment. Here in northeastern Pennsylvania, which President Trump won by 10%.
Yeah, this whole area.
This whole area. Luzerne County, he won by over 20%.
That's a little south of here. And really, you could argue, put him in the White House in a lot of ways.
No question.
So how does Joe Biden do better there than Hillary Clinton did?
What they're waiting to hear, as I mentioned, the unemployment numbers.
Yeah.
Here in northeastern Pennsylvania, Connell, it's 15%. And so many of the people, you're talking about restaurant workers, hospitality workers, what they want to hear about is the economy moving again. And that's a big part of what Joe Biden has made his message, if you've noticed, Build Back Better.
Right.
And so many of the people in northeastern Pennsylvania make their livings in the building trades. So that's going to be music to their ears.
Okay, it's interesting. We've been in Wisconsin. Now we're here. We'll be in a few other states next week. We have found, I didn't know they existed, but they exist more than I thought, undecided voters out there. And in states like this, they'll decide the election. A number of them voted for President Trump last time, and they will tell you up front, so you know what, I'm not a huge fan now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But those voters are not always sold on Biden either, for one reason or another. One is economic, and the complaint on that side, kind of contrasting from what you said, is they'll say, I don't know, I kind of like my taxes where they are. They're, you know, Biden and Harris, they're going to hike them up big time. What do you say to those voters?
You know what? One constant in American politics, and I think, you know, we have a lot to be proud of in this country, and one is our identity. Part of our identity in politics is that we like change, and we vote for change. You remember that was Obama's explicit theme for his campaign, and that was what President Trump offered.
Right.
Certainly Hillary Clinton wasn't going to be the change candidate.
I don't know if it applies to taxes. I haven't met many people who say, you know what I want is higher taxes now that they're lower. So.
No, but they, you know, make my life better is what people are always looking for. And I think, yeah, there's going to be a certain segment that are disappointed that it didn't happen under President Trump. But then there's going to be the crowd that won't leave him no matter what. Right.
He's got a solid base of support. You know about it because you represent this area.
Sure.
Final point, Biden wins. Obviously, you're going to predict it in Pennsylvania. How does he do it? Well, how does he turn around Pennsylvania and put it back blue? Final point.
By trimming the margins in places like this, you know, he's not going to completely reverse those numbers from 2016 around here. But if he cuts them in half, that's pretty much all he needs to do.
Because he does better in other parts of the state. Yeah, all right, Congressman Cartwright, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming on today. Represents this area. So it's a beautiful area here in the mountains of Pennsylvania. Melissa, back to you in New York.